Is that it?
Hi and welcome to Xtronical. Today we're going to look at wiring up and setting up one of these small OLED screens. This one's a 128x64 screen. I've set this up about 2 or 3 months ago. I know there was definitely problems. What I've done, I've cleared my software out and ensured we're back to basics, so I'll still have the same problems again. We'll see just how easy it is. This is in preparation for another project I'm working on. For an arcade game to run on one of these little screens. So if you look, there are 4 connections: ground, VDD plus voltage basically, SDK and SDA. So SDA suggests this is an I2C interface, which when I bought it, it was described as such. It's also described as SPI. I'm not sure you could possibly do SPI on this, but some of the early ones, if you look on the internet, that I can see had 6 pins here. I think this is basically cut down, and this is only going to be an I2C device, so we will wire it as an I2C device. And this is the first thing to do is to actually wire it up to this Arduino Nano, or rather a Nano clone. So the first thing I would do is to have a look for wiring up an I2C device on the internet. So I'm going to type in Arduino Nano pinout, and I've looked at this picture quite a few times. This will tell us where we need to put the connections. Let's have a quick look. And we can see that SDA is going to A4, I think that says. Might just want to make that a little bit bigger. That's better. So SDA is going to A4, and SER, which is basically the SDK. You find on some of the cheap devices, which are wonderfully cheap when you're getting them from Banggood or AliExpress. Sometimes don't always have the matching names of what the Arduino uses for I2C or SPI, but I'm fairly confident SDA matches up with my board, my OLED board. That's A4, and the SDK will go to A5. Then obviously we've got plus 5 volts and ground. So we'll start off with ground. So we'll put we need to fit the board into the breadboard, and ground is there, and we'll put that onto the Arduino ground, which with my bad eyesight is there. And we'll wire up the positive, so then we get VCC, and that's going to go to plus 5 volts. I can never quite remember where it is on the different boards. There it is. So plus 5 volts is just there. Okay, so we've got it wired up to plus 5 volts and ground. And
so okay, let's pause the video there. You can probably see, because it's nice and big on the screen, that I've actually connected the 5 volt line to the reset line of the Arduino. This is not going to end well, and it doesn't. This causes me no end of problems later on in the video as I try and sort out what's going on and why it won't work, until I eventually sort it out. This is probably why this channel's called, or subtitled, Misadventures in Softronics. We all make these mistakes. I've made them before. I'm sure I'll make many more in the future. But usually I would use a magnifying glass to look at the connections of Arduino boards, because the writing is so tiny. But for whatever reason, I didn't do it when I was making this video. That was a mistake. But we'll move on, and you'll see how I sort it out later. Okay, let's get back to the video.
what colour shall we have for SDK or SDL, whatever it is naming they're using at the moment? So as SDK we use green, and let me recheck what it said. So SCL was to A5. So this is hardware I2C on the Arduino, and that went to A5. Okay, so we've got the green wire going from the SDK of this to the SCL. Basically it's the same interface connection on the Arduino, on Arduino Nano. And we'll have, I don't know, orange for the SDA. Should put that on there, and just rechecking, SDA was pin A4. So just next to A5 you would hope. There we go. Pop that in. So all wired up. We'll connect it up. I'm not anticipating too much happening, unlike some LCD screens, which will sometimes light up the minute they get some sort of power. On the Arduino, that tends not to happen. On these OLED screens, sorry, that tends not to happen. So everything's wired up as it should be. So let's find some software to test it with. The first thing we should do is, for any device to be honest, is Adafruit are amazing with the equipment they supply for writing drivers for it, and then obviously they've used more or less standard components that are available from AliExpress or Banggood, like we said. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to type in Adafruit OLED. Let's see what happens with that. Now, it's a 128x64 screen. There we go. We've got Monaco. We've got the advert for what they were selling. What I'm looking for is for some sort of driver. So if I put the word driver on the end, we'll see what we get. Aha. So okay, we've got a GitHub. You can see that's been clicked on before. So it's probably when I was setting this up a couple of months ago. That's what I use. So go into the GitHub repository for the driver for SSD 1306, 128x64 and 128x32 OLEDs. Sounds like it might be a winner. So if I just expand that a little bit, and we'll click clone or download, and we'll download as a zip. Okay, that's done. And we'll go back to the Arduino software, and we need to add that zip file to, I think it's in Sketch, is it? No, yes it is. Include library, add a zip library, and all that the Arduino software really does is just hides some of the details from you. So that's it. So we're going to select that, we'll click open, double click that, open it, and it says library added to your libraries. All it's doing in the background is actually just unzipping the zip file and putting the open zip file as a folder into your libraries folder within your wherever you save your normal Arduino code. So now we should have, under examples, as I said, this is a cleaned system. I've reset it all so I can come across the same sort of problems again. So I used to have a lot of things in these examples from custom libraries. Now it's down to one that comes with it and the Adafruit. So we want the 128x64 I2C demo. Okay, so that opens up over there. So we'll close that existing window down and just drag that across. Make that as big as we can. Okay, so we'll try and compile it. We'll just make sure that we're set to the right COM port. Yep, we are. So, okay, Sketch, and we'll try and upload it and see what happens. Okay, so we've got some errors right away. Warning, spurious GitHub folder in Adafruit library. Okay, so this is a good idea. I'll go to where the libraries are stored, which I said all it does with them zip files, it basically just expands them and puts into the place where it expects them to be. And it's telling us where it is. It's in here, on my laptop user, under my extronical folder. We've got libraries, so annoyingly I don't think there's any way of opening this from there. So I'll just browse, so laptop. Wherever I click documents, that'll be the same. So Arduino Extronical, I'll just move that over there a bit. And libraries, so I've got the new Adafruit one here, and there we go, we've got a spurious Git folder. I don't know what that's about, it might be the source. So, no, that's something to do with GitHub, so we'll delete that. Yes, we want to delete that. Remove that. We'll leave that folder open in case we need it, but then we'll try and upload again. So you won't always see me going up to Sketch here and clicking upload, because what I'll usually do is use the keypad shortcut, which is Control and U. So we'll try again. Okay. So let's have a look what the problem is this time. So okay, we fixed that. Let's expand that a little bit. What's it saying? Fatal error. It's saying to scroll this along. No such file or directory. What's it looking for? It's looking for something called Adafruit GFX. So okay, let's copy that, because we haven't got such a library. So it's no wonder it didn't find it. And back to the internet, and we'll just do that. Put that straight into Google. There we go. Clone or download again. Download as a zip. And that's done. Again, Sketch, include library. Oops, include library. Add as a zip. Should be my downloads. There it is. Let's see. A library has been added, so we'll try and compile it again. It's just a matter of fighting your way through these various things that pop up. Okay, so it's opened this file for me. This is not the file we were in. Saying, process something here. Error, height is incorrect. Okay, so height is incorrect. Please fix, and it's telling us to fix it in Adafruit SSD 128x64 which is a header file. Okay, so we'll do that. So what you could do, you could try and file open, and there is the header file. And I have to remember, Arduino ID will not be happy. It does not want to open that, even though it's just a text file. It's not going to do it. So I'll open with Notepad. So we'll get Notepad++, which is my preferred text editor. Opened, and we might find it's actually already opened in there from before. Yes, it is. So I've been here doing things before. So it's saying fix the height error. Okay. 128x64 displays something about height. Okay, so I can see that commented height is 128x64 and 96x16, and the one it thinks the display that it's been set to is 128x32, and obviously we're using an example that says 128x64, so I can understand why that would not be a worker. So we're 128x64, so presumably I just de-highlight and comment that line, click save or save it, and try again. Okay, so good, we're uploading, so we've gone past any compilation errors. So things are looking good. We'll see what happens on the screen. If we get anything, I don't think we will. From remembering from 2 or 3 months ago when I originally got the screen and just tried setting it up, I'm fairly sure it didn't just fire up on the first try. Uploading time is taking a very long time. We can see that it's already 57% of program storage space, suggesting that the GFX library might be quite sizable. I'm suspecting something's gone astray here, and it's not going to upload any further. That something has happened. So I think I'll probably reset my Arduino, because it should have finished uploading by now. So we'll just reset that, and we will try uploading again. And it's not happy. Just check. Yeah, so what we're going to do, I'm going to unplug the Arduino. and we'll plug it back in again. See, I mean, we can even swap ports if we have to. I have seen this happen every now and again where it just seems to just lose the plot on the connection, whether it's my cables. I'm not entirely sure. I think sometimes I have to reset this software, but anyway, we'll just try loading one more time. And it is not playing ball, so I'm going to quit the Arduino software. Quite frustrating this. Let's open that up. As I said, I have seen this happen more than one occasion where it just seems to lose track. We'll just check that the board's still sort of appearing COM4, yeah, and it's a Nano. Let's load up the sketch we're using. Close that one down, bring that over here. Nothing else should really have changed, so we'll try compiling and uploading that. And yet still more problems. It cannot access that device. And it does have the bootloader on. I was using this device not that long ago, a few hours ago. It was fine. So I'm just going to try and swap COM ports. Plug it in. And when I say swap COM ports, I'm literally just plugging it into a different USB port. And we'll see which one that appears on now. And now we've got a COM5. Let's try again. Well, I thought there was a little bit of flashing activity happening on the Arduino. Doesn't seem like it's playing ball that much again yet. Are you freaking kidding me? It is really not responding to this at all, is it? We are just going to check those connections and have a look, make sure I've not plugged something in that might be somewhere messing up. So A4, A5, oh yes, I have plugged in the power of the screen to the reset line, RST, not the 5 volts. That's my poor eyesight. Usually when I'm dealing with these small silk screens, that means just the text on the boards. I will usually use a magnifying glass, but I was just being lazy and quick. I do wear glasses for reading, and there we go. So that's on the 5 volt line, so that might have a bit more joy now. So this is what you've got to do. So when you've explored every other option, then you need to look at what you've already done. So right, okay, yeah, so my mistake, my bad. Not using the magnifying glass that I usually use means we've plugged into the reset line, which makes a bit of sense as to what was happening. It was trying to communicate and then just giving up. Right then, okay, so uploading. We've got a bit of flashing, yeah, we've not caused any sort of permanent damage or anything like that. And it's flashing away, and yeah, we're definitely getting an upload there. So has it worked? And no, and I'm not shocked about that. I was shocked about the other stuff, but not being able to get to upload at all. Yeah, wasn't expecting to work because I know it's not worked before. And when something like this it doesn't work on I2C, the first thing I always check is the address. So everything you plug into the I2C bus, because you could have multiple things plugged into the I2C bus, all has a particular address, just like you'd have an address in a street. And looking through the code, there we go, I can see it. So there's a line here, it says display begin. Not sure what that particular constant is going to be doing, but initialize it with an address of 0 times 3D, which you would think would be that, but every device, and depending on who's manufactured it, it could be different. So what you can do, going back to Google, is you can look for, and I downloaded it before, but I'll show you how to download it again, but Arduino I2C scanner I have downloaded before and used. We'll have a look inside, so it's straight on the Arduino playground, and basically what this does, it will scan every address on your I2C bus and just ask basically, is there anything at address 1, address 2, address 3, etc., up to I think it's 127 for most normal devices on the I2C bus. So I'm going to copy that code, highlighted it and just copied it. I'm just going to put it into a new sketch and scroll it down a bit, select it all, paste it in, and please upload. No, we don't want to save it, just compile it and upload it, will be fine. And it will, if I remember rightly, yeah, it's printing to the serial port of whatever it finds with the address. So this will reveal what address this screen is, and if it's at 3D, then we have further problems because it's still not talking to it, even though it's at 3D. So let's have a look. And we're uploading, and when it's done uploading, quite a short bit of code. Tools, serial monitor, so anything that somebody types out, we type serial.print here, will appear on a thing called a serial monitor, basically sending things back from the Arduino to the computer that we can see. There we go. That is not a shock. I mean, apart from it now rings a bell from when I did this before, and it just actually every 5 seconds, I think it is or something, rescans all the, and I've only got all the I2C devices, I2C. So it's 3C. So let's type that in. Close the scanner down. We could save if I want to. I'm not going to at the moment, and we'll upload that. I am reasonably confident we might get a result, and if we do, it's basically some demo software from Adafruit that runs. So we're compiling. And we're uploading. And if I think this may well work. I'm sure we've done everything I can remember. I might have done some time ago. Oh, something's popped up on my Windows machine. I do not know why, but yes, that is working. Just talking about performance on my Windows machine, probably because it's a very old laptop. And yeah, so that is the Adafruit demo. That screen is working perfectly. So basically that's it for this episode. In later episodes we're going to look at actually developing an arcade game on this OLED screen, obviously putting buttons on and various other bits and bobs, and obviously going through a lot of code that you might want to do when you're writing a game, and we'll see how we get on. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.